Hey everybody, Mr. John from the Meredith Public Library here, coming at you once again with an MPL Team Friday update. It is Friday, November 18th, and I am very excited to be back again. If you missed me last week, the library was closed for the holiday on Friday, but I'm back again this week. Again, next week, we have another closure on Friday, so I'm going to try to record one on Tuesday for you next week. Fingers crossed I can get that done. It's going to be a busy day. But yes, I am here today to talk about what's going on, mostly what's going to be coming up in December. So pretty excited with the holiday season right around the corner. Let's jump right in. All right, so what's Mr. John up to? Got a couple brand new displays up here in the teen zone. I like kind of interactive displays is my new thing. So we've got a couple different types of displays here. One is just books that were popular a decade ago, back to 2012. This is Heavy Doc. So this is the top YA in this display from 10 years ago, stuff that's still popular enough to be on our shelves. I mean, this stuff's been going out regularly for a decade. So it's pretty popular stuff. John Green was really in his heyday 10 years ago. He's fallen off a little bit in popularity. He's not putting out as many books as well. Matthew Quick, following the success of the Silver Linings Playbook, had come out with Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock. My wife's favorite book of all time, Eleanor and Park, was one of the top books of 2012. And historical fiction, always and continues to be super popular. Codename Verity was one of the top books a decade ago as well. So this is a jump back in time. It might be books that you've read before. It might be books you've never seen. Definitely come in and check out the back to 2012 display and see what was popular 10 years ago. Let's see, the next display I have, again, these dueling displays where I wanted to see which you guys are into more. So we got romance tropes battling it out right now. We've got enemies to lovers, books like When Dimple Met Rishi, or soulmates, book like Aristotle and Dante. Uh, I, I used some Star Wars characters here in my poster, but this is two of the most popular romance tropes. They're all over our movies, they're all over our books, and I'm just trying to get a gauge of what you guys like, what might be something that I should focus on going forward. And this is just kind of a fun thing to do. So if you've got one of these tropes that you like more than the other, definitely come in and check out something off that display, so your favorite can win. And we've got a bunch of new locally made comics available. The Comic Club with the founding member Seamus made this lovely sign for me. But I've got books now by, let's see, my friend April has her Thanks for the Help series. Let's see, we've got Cam has given me a couple. We've got Man Dog and Duck Man into the Duckverse. I'm excited to read that one. And I've read this one. This one's very good. Man Dog and Little Cat Part 3 Attack on the Martians. There is no Part 1 and 2. That's the secret. And then I've got this one by my buddy Logan, Duck Man. So lots of new comic books made by local kids just like you. Again, if you have something you've been working on and have finished and want to share, bring it in. I will, reinforce it, catalog it, put it out there for people to check out and actually be able to read your work. So this is really neat. I'm glad lots of people are bringing stuff in. I'm glad lots of people are checking these books out. This is a lot of fun. So definitely come in, and whether you're participating in Comic Club by making your own comic or just by checking these out, it's a lot of fun. So definitely come in and check out all the new Comic Club activities. All right, books, books, books. This week I got a lot of new manga in, kind of all at once. So we've got 86. This started as a light novel series. I've talked about those before. Light novels is basically just YA books. They are books aimed at teenagers. They're shorter. They usually look like the manga books, but are actual prose books. So oftentimes manga will start as a light novel and then become the manga, or it'll go the other way. A popular manga will get light novelizations. So this one started as a light novel and is now a manga. Book 3 has just come out. The 86, this is a really interesting series. This is definitely something that's very thought-provoking. In the story, there's a war going on between the Empire and the Republic, basically. And one side is fighting with completely autonomous, like robotic warriors, and they're winning. So the other side's like, oh, yeah, well, we've got autonomous robotic warriors too. And they come out with these robot warriors. But their secret is that they're not robots, they are piloted by people inside. But they don't tell anybody because those people are the minority in their country. Um, that live in internment camps. They're not allowed to have their own names. This is a really interesting, thought-provoking setting here. And then, yeah, they're forced to fight the battle for this empire that won't even allow them to have homes and names. Really intense, a lot of good action in here too, but it's a really thought-provoking series. I really enjoyed this one. 86, book 3 out now. Island in a Puddle. This is a weird one. This is kind of hard for me to categorize. When I started reading the first one, I was like, oh, it's a pretty normal, like, slice of life sort of manga. The idea is that there's two kids, there's a fifth grader and his little sister. The fifth grader is basically got to take care of the house. Their single mom is not around very often. There's very little money coming into the house. They do have some friends in the community that help take care of them, but they're a struggle. So that's our start. And then we take a hard left turn when the fifth grader is riding a Ferris wheel, which is struck by lightning, which causes him to switch bodies with a dangerous criminal who's also riding the Ferris wheel. The criminal has just pulled off a huge heist and then murdered one of his fellow criminals and is on the run. And now suddenly this fifth grader has swapped bodies with him. So he's got to figure out how to switch him back, while also taking care of his family, while looking like this criminal and not getting arrested. This one, like, it started very normal feeling and exploded quickly. I'm really excited for book 2. I have not read it yet. I'm excited to dive into that one probably this weekend. So that's Island in a Puddle. One Punch Man number 24 just arrived. If you've not tried One Punch Man, I could not recommend any of the manga titles that we have more than One Punch Man. This is my favorite. It's got a lot of humor and some really good action. The basic story here is that there was a dude and he was very bored with his life, so he decided to become a hero for fun. He just worked out a bunch for a year and then suddenly was the world's strongest hero. And the One Punch Name moniker is not a misnomer. He does literally defeat every single opponent with one single punch. Now you might ask yourself, how do they keep a story interesting for 26 issues when your main character can defeat anyone with one punch? Well, you have to read to find out because they really do. As the story's going on, the world is getting bigger. Lots of sub characters coming in, lots of sub storylines. There's lots going on here. I love One Punch Man. Great show, and great manga. Definitely pick up this one if you haven't started it yet. All right, Solo Leveling. This is technically this is Korean, so it is a manhwa, not a manga. But it also reads left to right like an American book and not right to left like like manga does. So the idea here, but it started so it's a brand new book. This is book 5 in the series Solo Leveling. This started as a web comic also in Korea. The story here is again pretty standard story where there's a bunch of the main characters are, I think they're called hunters, and they got to fight the monsters to keep the monsters from eating the rest of the humans. Pretty standard story. You've probably seen stuff like this before. Little twist here in that there are portals that take them to what they call dungeons, which are like the nests where these monsters come from. While the main character, who is known to be not a very good hunter, is going with his party or her party, I forget. I've not read this actually, so I'm just kind of going off of the back of the books here. So the main character goes into a dungeon with their party, and it suddenly turns into it's a double dungeon. This is extra dangerous. Most of the party is killed. Main character manages to escape, and as they get out of the dungeon, they are selected by the system, which they don't know what that means at first. But the system selects them to be like their champion, and they gain all these extra powers, and they're able to build their strength really fast. And that's they're solo leveling. They're leveling up their strength all by themselves. So there's a lot of mystery here about what the dungeons actually are, how the portal systems work, who is the system. Lot going on here. We're on book number 5. This is a really dense book. There's a lot of action and dialogue going on in here. It's going to feel slightly different than than a manga you would have read before. Again, this is Korean, so it's a slightly different sensibilities and artistic direction. But it's really fun, and this is one of those books that is a global sensation right now. We're only 5 issues in. It's one of the most popular titles on the planet. So definitely check out Solo Leveling, book 5 out now. And finally, we have a Demon Slayer light novel. So Demon Slayer started as a manga, and now they've started putting out these light novels. I really love light novels, especially if we're getting them after the manga. So if you've read Demon Slayer, this is kind of a similar plot to what we are just talking about with solo leveling, where there are demons in the world, and then the demon slayers have to fight them. Demons have these powers, and demon slayers have different types of powers that they use to fight the demons. So it's a great manga series. Definitely give it a shot. But I love when these light novels come out because in the same size book, you just get so much more information. It makes the world feel bigger. You get background on characters you're not able to get in a manga. I'm really excited that these are starting to really gain traction outside of Japan. These light novels have been super popular there for a long time, and now are starting to pick up steam worldwide. So definitely come in and check out the Demon Slayer light novel while you're here. We have some Naruto light novels, so I'm starting to build that collection too. So right now I'm getting a few, and they're kind of going out. So I'm going to give you guys a little librarian insight here. I'm testing right now. I'm getting a few titles in these light novels and seeing how they circulate, and then I've got to look back in a month, 2 months, see how they're doing, and see if it makes sense to continue adding more of these titles. So if you guys want to see more light novels, the best way to guarantee that happens is to come in and check out the ones we have. So come in and check out Demon Slayer: The Flower of Happiness light novel, available now in the teen room. All right, so yes, suddenly November feels like it's just about to end. We have Thanksgiving next week, and then only one more week of November, and then it's December. So the December newsletter is done, available now. Here it is. Cocoa and Crosswords continues every other Friday. That's a lot of fun. There's an open house on December 3rd. Where you can kind of come in, and the library's going to be decorated. There'll be lots of stuff going on. And down here in the teen room, we're going to get that button maker pulled out. We're going to have some templates out so you could maybe design your own button. We'll have a lot of designs you can use that we've created here. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. So come in. That says 3:30, but that is not correct. It is the whole time we're open, 9 to 2. I don't know why I wrote 3:30 there. That was silly. I have to fix that. So yeah, we're open 9 to 2 on Saturday the 3rd. The button maker will be out in the teen room the whole day, but there's stuff going on all over the building. So if you don't usually come on weekends, I would recommend trying a Saturday on the 3rd. There'll be lots going on. Let's see, level up your life. We're continuing next month. We're getting into a little coding. We're going to start coding in real life. So we're not going to be using any devices. This is going to be completely analog. It's really going to help us learn the basics of how we tell computers what to do. And that's basically what coding is we're giving computers a series of commands, and then if something happens, there's another series of commands, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to kind of do some in real life coding, which I'm also calling program your friends, because part of this is going to be trying to write a set of commands to have someone else make a peanut butter sandwich. So if you've never done something like that before, you say, oh, well, just get the bread out, put the peanut butter on it, put the jelly on it. Well, do I just put the jar of peanut butter on the whole loaf of bread? Is that what you mean? So you have to be really detailed in your instructions. But if you get too detailed, they're going to get like, okay, peanut butter up to the edge. And then so it's a balance of coding in the correct number of instructions without overwhelming your subject and causing crashes. So it's a real basic introduction to coding. Again, we're not using any devices, but it's just going to help us understand exactly what coding is so that down the road we can kind of build from here. So I'm excited for that, coding in real life. Now, you may have noticed our manga club here says KFC for Christmas. You might think, that's really weird. Why did John write KFC for Christmas under manga club? Well, let me tell you, it is going to be a lot of fun if you come to manga club in December, because in Japan, the big thing for Christmas is to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is a real thing. I'm not making it up. It started in the 70s. A marketing company or a marketing agent for KFC created this whole marketing campaign, a ton of commercials. They flooded the country with this Kentucky for Christmas. It was, because Christmas to them was a very American holiday. So having KFC, which was also felt both luxurious and familiar. Fried food is very common in Japan. So fried chicken was not totally different than what they're used to eating. So it felt very fancy, but very familiar at the same time. So it really took off. And now you have to order your KFC like months in advance in order to get a bucket on Christmas Day, the 24th. They usually do. They say 100 times busier than their normal day. They also call this, as a quick aside, instead of a bucket of chicken, it's actually called a barrel of chicken in Japan, is the word they use. It's a weird little thing. So yeah, I'm not making this up. There is Japanese Colonel in his in his Santa Claus outfit. There's another one. These statues are all over. It's just it's funny. I find it funny. This is a part of the original marketing campaign here. Now I am it's stuff, there's a little fat kid living inside of me still. I'm a big uh uh kind of fast food guy. I don't eat nearly as much as I used to, thank goodness. Trying to be a little healthier these days. But there is something coming out for KFC Christmas this year that is making me drool just thinking about it now. I'm going to pull up a picture here. I'm going to go to the next slide real quick because I'm just not going to be able to talk. Drool's going to be coming out of my mouth. It is the gravy sandwich. So it's a chicken sandwich with the cheese on top, and underneath is gravy naise, which is a gravy mayonnaise concoction, and then an onion ring on top. And the purpose of the onion ring is it comes with a little extra gravy, and you pour the gravy into the onion ring, so that kind of holds the gravy there on top of the chicken. And you put the top on, and eat the whole thing. Gravy starts pouring out. Sounds amazing. I want to try it, but only in Japan. I might have to make a trip. Probably not. But yeah, so KFC for Christmas is a real thing. Manga Club will be eating chicken. Well, we will be providing chicken. Um, you don't have to eat it if you don't want to. We'll be buying chicken. We'll be talking about other fun things that they do in Japan for the holidays. We'll be putting up lots of lights in here. That's a really huge thing in Japan around Christmas is they just cover their cities in twinkly lights. So we'll be putting up tons of lights here in the teen room during this meeting. This is one of my favorite events. I've done it every year. I've been able to do it here at the Meredith Public Library. So definitely come in and enjoy KFC for Christmas with the Manga Club. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll be back hopefully next Tuesday with a new event or with a new video. But if you don't see me next week, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you the week after that for our next MPL Teen Update. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Be nice to each other. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.